Welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Gemz podcast. It is your host, KILLA. Today, another special guest I have for you guys. So, this gentleman here, call him my boy, I call him my trainer. He's an entrepreneur, he's a gym owner, father, party promoter. This man does a lot
Everything.
of everything. So I want to
Yeah,
present
man.
you guys my guy, my trainer, Travis Gray. How we doing, my brother?
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Pleasure, man. Pleasure to be on here. I'm doing great today, man. Can't complain, Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So what I want to start off is, so you own Body Prime Fitness. That is the name of the gym there. So I want to kind of just get into kind of like, I guess, like the origins of how did you come up with that name, Body Prime? Like how did you put that together?
It's funny because I had a few names to choose from. And I had Prime Fitness, I had Prime City, I had a bunch of them. But I mean, but when I saw Body Prime was on the list, the reason why I kind of like narrowed it down to Body Prime because my vision and when I was creating a Body Prime is is my goal is to get you back to your ultimate prime body. So I was like, okay, I need something that have body and prime because your goal when you're in your prime, that's your best years. So, and the thing was, like, if I combine those together and then add the fitness at the end, that it gonna sound very legit. And that's what I did. So that's how I from Body Prime Fitness. So when you come see me, the ultimate goal is for me to bring you back to your prime body. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 30, we got to get you back to your prime, performing, moving like you're in prime days. So that's where the Body and Prime Fitness come in. So I want to make sure everything makes sense. It was a lot of
Yeah.
well, it was a lot of options, but I narrowed it down.
So now not only obviously if you like coin the name Body Prime, but obviously, if they don't know you, I obviously know you, like you go by Body Prime, obviously. And then you also have, your promotion side too, your party promoter side, Body Prime Entertainment or
Entertainment, yes. Body Prime Entertainment.
so before we take like a little bit like a deeper dive into like the fitness side, because I know we can kind of go on and on about like that there. Tell me like a little bit about like how did you get into like the party promotion, like the entertainment side of like
I mean, honestly, I love entertainment. I'm originally from Guyana, so we love events, we love going to concerts and stuff like that. And I love having people having a good time. So I did a lot of work to my yard in I think 2022, and I was like, yo, let me just throw an event and just so people come and just have a good time. And I did it one time, and it was amazing turnout. And everyone like, yo, you need to do this every year, do this every year. So I was like, all right, I guess. I guess because everyone loved the vibe and atmosphere of it, and like I was impressed with the turnout because I wasn't expecting that much people, so the turnout was great. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, maybe if I could make a little side hustle off of this, why not invest some time and some money into it? So I'm 6 years in. This August will be year six.
we'll
So
see.
so 6 years in, going strong. The name of the event is BBQ and Lime. So, I mean, it's been going great, man. But like I said, the reason why I got into it is because, I mean, I love going to events and I love putting on great events so people have fun and just enjoy themselves. So, so it was easy to tap into that market because something that I enjoy doing as well.
Word. No, I'm definitely now. I came in on number 4, so I came in on that, and it was a great vibe. I pulled up solo, but that was just kind of just me, just kind of feeling it out, and yeah, now that first one was definitely legit, definitely a
Yeah,
vibe.
man.
Then I pulled up then last year, same thing, even better, and well, I expect to three-peat and be there.
Exactly, man. We have a good time, man. That's what it's about. Like I said, we just about as entrepreneur, we also have to have some fun too as well.
For sure. So kind of spinning the block. So I want to kind of take it back before Body Prime. Like why, first of all, why did you choose fitness as kind of like your main vehicle? Like why did you choose to be in the fitness industry?
Honestly, I don't think I choose fitness. I think you choose fitness, choose me. The reason why I said that because I did martial arts, right? I did martial arts, I did track. So I was always into sports and athletics, in high school. And like in my senior year, I was like, okay, I'm graduating. I need to figure out what I want to do. I tried the old college route, but like I said, when I was there, like, okay, I mean, I'm not really feeling it. Like, I need to figure this out. So after high school, I started going to the gym. I started going to the gym. I was doing Planet Fitness. I got a membership at Planet Fitness. And I would go there every day and I would do my workout. And then a lot of random people just come and join my workout because they love what I'm doing and they like enjoy it. And I was like, okay. And then back in 2014, I started a free boot camp. I just want to try something because I was like, okay, let me do a 6 week free boot camp. So I promoted a 6 week free boot camp at Moakley Field, and the turnout was amazing. It was an early morning class. I had about like 20 people there three times a week for 6 weeks. And after I did that, I was like, okay, it's definitely a revenue I can tap it in. But let me take it more serious because at that time I wasn't certified. I was just testing the water out, see if I really enjoy doing fitness as much as I do. But after that 6 week, it's kind of like opened my eyes to say, okay, like, all right, Travis, if you really want to do this, buckle down and take it serious. And then that's when I got certified in 2015. I got certification, and I was like, okay, let me dive into this. And since then it's been amazing, man. I haven't looked back. But it's just started as like literally me going to the gym and people just come and join me on workout. And I know and I see the interest was there. So based on that interest, I just kind of like turned that into a profitable thing based on the interest. Cause I saw it was a market for it. That's how I kind of like went about it.
Got you. So I know, like, obviously, I know the story about, like, before you kinda, had opened, like, your gym, but can you just talk about, like, what you were doing prior to
To open the gym.
opening your
Oh
gym?
yeah, so I was working. So I was working at a 9 to 5. I was working at St. Elizabeth Hospital, which is located in Brighton. That was my first job. I was there going on 10 years. And I tell myself, oh, hey, I'm way too long. And I enjoy what I was doing at the time. I was working in prison transport. I enjoy it. It was a great job. I was helping people, in the hospital when they at their lower time. I was assisting them, and it was a great job. But I know it wasn't something I wanted to do long term. So I know, like I said, okay, this is a temporary fix. So in 2019, I went to my boss. Like, hey, I think I want to go per diem because, like I said, I want to focus a little bit more on my business side. Because at the same time, I was working and running my business at the same time. Like I said, I had a training controlling thing, but I was at work, and then after work, I come train and stuff like that. And it started getting a lot, because doing working full time job and trying to focus on business started getting a lot overwhelming. So in 2019, I told my boss, hey, I need to go per diem. And then she didn't want to give me a per diem position. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I want to go per diem. She's like, oh, I can't give you that per diem position because I will lose that full time position because you're a full time employee. So at that point, when she told me she cannot give me that position after me being there for 10 plus years, that was a wake up call for me because I was like, okay, I've been working 10 years for you, give you everything I got, and you can't do me that solid. So at that point, I just give her my 2 weeks and I haven't looked back since.
Mm,
Like I said, I didn't want to do it, but I had to because I said I had a big investment in my gym and I wasn't gonna let that down.
feel that, brother, I feel that. Always taking a chance on yourself. It's always the best to bet on yourself.
Always, man.
So, kind of bringing us up to, so now you've quit your job, you're running the boot camps in the park, and you're starting to see the traction with it. Now, at what point did you start looking for your own facility?
So in the summertime I will run the boot camp in the park at Moakley Field. And this time I'm in Boston. And then in the wintertime I will train at my taekwondo studio where I used to practice. So I was subleasing that place to run my boot camp in that studio on the Ponce. So I did that for like at least 4 years, and my clients just started growing. And what I realized, the studio was small, it was 900 square feet. So I couldn't train people in there no more. I was running out of space because clientele is growing because people seeing the results of my client. I'm getting more interest. So what I had to start doing, like my veteran clients have been with me for a while, I would have to step aside, train a new client, and then after I would have to train them after. So I was working more. And I know that wasn't sustainable for long term success. So in 2018, I was like, okay, I need to get a space. I need to get a bigger space. And I started my search. My search took me like almost a year to find a spot because like it's real estate and it's very hard to find spots sometimes. So, but I know I need to get a bigger spot because my clientele was growing. So I did a search on by my own. I was working at realtor, and then we planned out. So I started doing this just on my own. And I was okay. But I give myself a time. I was like, by 2019, I need to be in a new space because if I'm gonna continue running a successful business, I need more real estate and to train my client, and I need to get better equipment. So that's how we end up here today. I mean, I found the space in Canton in 2019, and I opened it May of 2019. I opened it. I found it. 2019. I opened that same year. I mean, like it wasn't like I said, it wasn't easy. It took me almost a year to find a spot because I was looking. Because remember, all my clients in Boston based, so I didn't want to touch something too far outside of the city as well. So it took me a while to find that spot that in range where my client have to travel too far to come to me, and it's still convenient for them. That's how we got here now. 28 Triple A, man. We here today.
Tell me, because I don't have experience with, like, owning any type of real estate. Like, that's probably I know it's definitely one of the top pillars to helping, building wealth and stuff like that. I typically, like to dabble in the stock market and business rather than have real estate, but kinda just talk about some of the challenges of being a gym owner and just having to maintain.
I think okay, I mean, I think one of my toughest challenge is like running a gym. That I found when I first started is like it's so different doing a business in a town from doing a business in a city. I did not know that. That's one of my biggest things. Like when I opened this gym in Canton, was a lot of obstacles to get in the building because when you work in a town, you have to get approved by everyone that live in the town. So I have to go to like town hall, like bunch of meetings, and then the resident have to approve the business to be in here. So that was something that I didn't know. I wasn't aware of that. And the realtor at the time didn't tell me anything about that. I signed a lease. I couldn't move into place for at least 2 months because I had to go to Canton. I mean, the Canton Town Hall to get approved to get a working permit to be in the building. And that's something I didn't know. So, because in Boston, it's different. Like you just gotta go to City Hall, register your business, get your working permit, and that's it. It's no approval from anyone. So that was a big wake up call. It was a tough challenge because it was a lot of objection. I would go to the meeting, and I would explain to the board that hey, my gym is not gonna create a lot of traffic. Cause the one of the main concern they had with me bringing a business into Canton, they were saying the traffic for the community because they said they already have a lot of traffic. That's one of the objection. So they was giving me a hard time to having gym. So I had to explain to them, hey, this is a private owned gym. So every client that comes see me is appointment only. So it's not gonna be a large crowd of people coming at once, like a regular gym. So I had to explain that. That was a very tough challenge that I had to overcome before a gym. And after that, I mean, running a business is it's good and bad. Like I think bad side is like if you fail is on you. Everything that go wrong, you're responsible for it. For equipment, for maintaining everything. That's one of the more challenging. And also like you have to like stay motivated. Like sometimes like stuff might not go your way being a business owner. Like what stuff you put in place, you can't make that break. You just gotta keep pushing and keep focusing on the next thing. But like I said, I wouldn't give up this job for nothing else because like I said, I learn on the job and I'm continue learning and I grow a lot as I've been on the job. But it's not an easy job, but it's definitely doable if you enjoy what you're doing. And I always tell any entrepreneur like, yo, once you get in business, make sure you love what you're doing. Because if you don't love it, you gotta quit in a year or two. Because at first the money not gonna be there. And you're like, okay, I'm not making no bread in this. So what's next? So you have to love what I do, and that's I think that's why I was able to be in business so long because I actually enjoy training. I enjoy helping people.
Word. So, I guess I was kinda heading into segue into my next question, like, what do you find, like, most rewarding with having your own space?
I think one of the biggest thing for me is like I'm on my time, meaning like I wake up when I want to wake up. I mean, if I don't want to work today, I don't come to work. So I think that's one of the blessings. It's like, okay, I'm on my schedule and then you get to operate on your time. I don't need to request no time off. I told people entrepreneurship to me is freedom. I look at it as freedom. Like, I can move however I want to move. And that's one of the biggest blessings for me being an entrepreneur. So almost 6 years now, full-time entrepreneur for almost 6 years. It's just having that freedom to navigate places, go wherever I want to go without someone signing off on my request, or say, oh, you're denied, you can't go here. And I take pride in that, because like I said, I know when I was working, my personality, I need to be a boss, like, cause like I just don't like people telling me what to do and just talking to me a certain way because I treat people with respect. So, and when I realized in corporate, like don't try to treat you that same respect. They look down on you as well, even though I have certain credentials. And that wasn't sitting well with me. So I know I had to like figure it out and like be my own CEO, you know?
Right. You know, yeah, and I just had this conversation with another guest, you know, Kiani. I just
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to
yeah.
with her. So like you was just saying like how, you know, like how not everybody is meant to be a boss. You know, you need people who are workers, who can work, who are just better they're just better at working than they are being a boss. Because not everybody's meant for that type of role. Because that just I just think with being a boss, being a leader, there's always just gonna come a lot of criticisms. There's always just gonna come, you know, there's always gonna be a lot of hate. There's always gonna be a lot of, you know, just things that you gotta constantly deal with because you can't
And I
you
could
don't have you gotta just do what's best for especially when it comes to business, you have to do what's best for business.
definitely.
That's never
And
personal, it's always what's best for the business.
And that's something that I struggle with at first, you know, like I said, when I said struggle with because I would hire certain people and like they were like obviously they were close friends of mine. And then when stuff they're not doing the job that I hired them for, and then you have to have that tough conversation. That's always get difficult. You know, that's why I say like you have to be able to separate, okay, you my boy, but you work for me. It's certain level of professionalism you have to bring, you know. So I think in my early stage running a business, I realized, okay, if you have a friend or a close buddy to work for you, make sure you have those hard conversations from the beginning and set the expectations straight so everybody know, okay, this is what I'm expecting from you. And once we now on business move, we still cool, but here this is a business. So I need you to do this. We're not friend when it come to this one. This is business. I pay you for a job. I expect a certain professionalism, you know, and that's something that I learned at an early stage, you know, because it was rough when I first started. It was definitely rough. I had to fire a few people.
I don't even know. I quite honestly, I don't even know if I even wanna ever be in that role where I have, like, employees because I don't quite honestly, I've realized with my personality, I just don't want to be in charge of having anybody on my, like, payroll. I don't wanna be in charge of anybody's wage. Like, I don't want any of that's why I chose, you know, the stock market, and that's why I chose is that where it's just I can be in control of it, and, you know, if I wanna delegate maybe some tasks, maybe I can then do that. Like the podcast thing, like, eventually at some point, I can delegate all these tasks here that I need done with, like, editing and finding clips and stuff like that, and, you know, that's easily payable, you know, I can manage that, but, like, how some companies where you need, like, employees to do, you know, like, full-time work and all this other stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
I need
It's tough. I mean,
more so
it's
control.
definitely a challenge, man. It's definitely a challenge. But like I said, you have to be built for it, and you can't be frustrated because I mean, I always tell people like to be a boss, you gotta be a great leader. And what I mean by that, like you have to lead by example. Like you can expect your employee to be at 7 a.m. and you walking in at 7:30, and you supposed to be at the same time. You know, like so. I think your leadership is important when you're a boss. Cause someone your employee based on what you do, that's what they're gonna do. You know, so that you gotta take pride in that, being on time and then showing up and actually putting the work in too. Not because you're a boss, like you think, okay, you're not gonna do anything, because your employee do have the same energy. So I think being having a strong leadership personality is important.
Do you think that right now you have, like, the perfect team, like, around you right now? Like, you have, like, the perfect team?
Nah, man, I'm still building, man. I'm still building. I mean, yeah, like I said, I have some people around me right now. Spice, she only down. She my girl. She only downside. She be rocking me a couple years now. But like I said, I'm still building. I'm still looking to hire a trainer, maybe a trainer or two. Cause I realized, I mean, delegating tasks is what will make the business grow. You know, like I can only train so much people in a day. But like if I have a solid team, we could delegate that. We could help more people. You know, and that's one thing I'm working on right now, just growing the team. And that's a challenge. You know, it's a very difficult challenge. I never think it would be a challenge trying to get good employee, but it's definitely different because I think why it's so different and complicated because everyone think they could be a boss and no one want to work. So like they'll look come in and see you doing what you're doing and they look at, well, this is easy. I could do this. So like they try to come maybe a year, a few months, trying to learn what they can learn and try to go and duplicate that. But like even though I have the skill set and the knowledge and the grade and you don't really want like you're gonna fail. Cause I said I have a lot of trainers that come work for me and go off and open businesses and unfortunately they didn't work out the way they expected to work out because they don't know the back end of business. Like, okay, you're a great trainer, you're excellent trainer, you can work people out, you can get them in shape. but can you run an operation? Because it's a different mindset. Being a trainer and being a business owner and a C, like it's a different mindset. They two they're separate.
Whole different ball game because now you gotta have SOPs, and for those who don't know what SOPs is, that's
Basically SOPs are that's your operation. That's how you run everything. You know,
yeah,
that's how
exactly.
you run everything.
I don't know
So,
why I'm out on that. Standard operating procedures. I don't know why I blanked out on that.
yeah, you know that's what I said is operating procedure. That's how you run everything. You know, like so you have to have a system in place. That's number one. You know, like hey, people think you just open a gym and just get people in. No, you have to have a system in place. How are you gonna get them here? How are you gonna have them stay here? And how are you gonna grow? Because I the hardest part I found when I first started my business, it wasn't opening up in the gym. Is after the gym opened, how can I maintain this success and keep growing? That's was one of the toughest challenge for me. Like, okay, cause you know when something is new, everyone gravitate to it.
You
Three,
know
4 years in, okay, how do you still keep these people motivated? So that's one of the challenges that I know running a business. Okay, you have to keep your customer engaged.
how how are you get how is your clientele like coming to you? Like I know like how has you been able to kind of like build your clientele over the last like 10 years?
Think most of my clientele is word to mouth promotion. Basically, like a friend would tell a friend, a cousin would tell a cousin, because and word to mouth is the best promotion. Like once you could get promotion word to mouth, I mean you're really doing something. Because like I would train someone and they would get great results, and then their friends would see their body transformation, and then, hey, where do you work out? And they say, hey, you work out Body Prime Fitness. So most of my clients come from there. It's just from word to mouth referral. Also, some on social media as well, Instagram mostly. I have a lot of feed on Instagram. I got some nice supporters there, but definitely word to mouth. I get most of my support word to mouth. Like I said, I run ads, but I don't really run ads like that. I get most of my support from word to mouth. I think those are the best support, 'cause, like, when you work the mall, like, you definitely know your business is growing and people love your work, you know, and people will refer. 'Cause if someone don't love what you're doing, they will refer someone to you, you know? Like, if you're a terrible trainer, you terrible business owner, someone that would tell them, "Hey, go work out Body Prime Fitness." No. So, like, once you treat people right and you give them results, they'll definitely promote your business.
Hmm. For sure. So I know you had mentioned earlier Taekwondo, a background in Taekwondo. So obviously, as being a student for about like 2 years now, it's definitely martial arts has definitely done something different to my mind and my body for sure. And while I've always liked martial arts because I grew up always watching plenty of movies, the Jackie Chans, the Jet Lees, the Michael Jai Whites, and the Bruce Lees, and the Donnie Yens, and all of that. Like I've loved always loved watching it, but never actually, you know, took the time to really learn the technique, the basic, the mindset, the just the art of it. And so tell me about like your first introduction to martial arts and then kind of like speak about like your journey up until, where you got like your
Yeah. So when you come to martial arts actually saved me. Like, martial arts, like I'm gonna go way back. So I came to the United States in 2006. So when I came here, I was a very troubled child, you know, new to the country, new to the country, accent wasn't that great. So you get picked on a lot. So I had a lot of build up anger and frustration. And I definitely turned to martial arts to let that out, you know, because I feel like if it was for martial arts, I wouldn't be here today, you know. So that's why I would always encourage people like, hey, do martial arts, because it's a great, it teaches discipline, patience, respect, and a lot. Because like in martial arts, you're gonna get hit, but you have to be able to control your emotion and not to overreact like you're in the streets. And I think that was one of my biggest thing of why I enjoy martial arts. And when I say martial arts specifically, I'm talking Taekwondo. That's what I did. This is one I think is one of the best art out there. What's put out there. But I said Taekwondo, I did Taekwondo for 10 plus years. I'm currently a black belt in Taekwondo. I enjoy it, man. Like, and I think also because of my Taekwondo background, also helped me with my fitness as well. Because like I said, I'm not just a fitness trainer. You come to me, we could do martial arts, we could do self defense, we could do any tactic. So whatever you're seeking, I have the tool to provide that results. So I think that's why I enjoy martial arts so much. And I compete a lot. And I'm gonna get my guy right here, right now. We in training camp, man. So like we know you find out there feeling froggy, I want to jump.
promote it all the time. Like I'd be telling people, I'm like, listen, like, it's
Yo, we put work in every day, man. I'm telling
work,
you, like we do this.
especially as a man. Like I just feel like even if you don't want to go like the route of trying to learn, like martial arts because of how challenging it may. Well, I mean, I think honestly, out of all the arts, I think probably boxing is probably definitely one of the hardest out of all like the fighting arts for sure. But like we do that as well. Like I don't just do the taekwondo, I do boxing too. Like I mix it up.
We do everything, man.
We kind of we working on like a mixed bag here. But yeah, no,
Exactly.
we always tell like people like around like even my friends. I'm like, yo, y'all should learn some type of self defense, some type of art, just for like one, just for your own good. Yes, for your own physical health. Yes, and for your own, just be able to defend yourself and defend whoever you're with, your friends, your family, your lady, your kids, but just also just do it for yourself. Like just do it because I just think it's the best.
And I think one of the important thing about martial arts too is, like I said, martial arts is not about picking trouble. Is having the discipline and structure. If you out with your family, I don't know, like if you out with your family, you guys having dinner or somewhere, breakfast, and you got yourself caught in a situation, you need to defend yourself. You have that skill set to protect your family and yourself and make it back home safe. And that's what I think martial arts is self-defense. You want to learn the skills and use it when it's needed. Like I've been doing martial arts for years. No one know I do martial arts because I don't brag about it. Because that's my skills that I know. If I in a situation that I need to defend myself or defend my loved ones, I can do so. So I think it's very important. I think everyone should learn martial arts, mixed martial arts, and just hit that thing and put on the guns, man. We don't need no guns. The only guns you need is your fists. That's it.
Agreed, agreed. So what is your or at least talk to me about like what you have like long term, like what's the long term goal you have for Body Prime Fitness?
My
Or just
my
or
long
just
term goal.
Body Prime brand. Like what do you just because obviously you're not just in fitness, you like I said, you in the entertainment too. So like what is kind of just like your long term goal for
I
the
think
brand?
right now, my current goal is to build a solid team. Once I accomplish that goal that I'm currently working on, is to expand. I want to have at least 2 to 3 locations,
Mm,
fitness location across Mass. So that's one of my goal. But
okay.
but I said I do not want to expand until I know I have that solid foundation, because I don't want to spread myself too thin. So my goal right now is to build a solid foundation, and hopefully in a year or two I could open up my second location, and to have more people out there. But that's my goal, man. My goal is to like literally have at least 3 locations and have some great people on my team help me managing this location, and then we changing life. That was fitness is about, but changing people's lives. So that's my long term goal.
Would you ever like look to, start to like look to like expand throughout like the US or so, or do you want to just kind of just keep it here and
I mean, I haven't thought that far yet. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I haven't tapped into like, okay, do I want to go to a different state? I mean, I see people do it. I mean, in the back of my mind, but like I said, I haven't expanded that far yet, because I'm trying to control having mass going on right now in Massachusetts. I'm trying, okay, let me build a solid foundation here and have a handle on it before I try to spread my wings too wide and not able to control it. So I feel like if I have multiple locations in mass and I'm able to manage those properly and efficiently, and I have some good operations, I think spreading my wings to different states wouldn't be a problem. But I think I need to make sure I have a control of what I have going on here first before I go too wide broad with it. But definitely long term, man. I want to be in all 50 states, man. Come on.
hey,
Business booming.
hell yeah. So I know you were kind of talking about, like how you like entrepreneurship, but how important is it for, just us, like just as like millennials and Gen Z to really just explore entrepreneurship and finding ways to park our money in different places. Like I had this conversation, I have this conversation with almost everybody, but again, like I just kind of like hearing the different perspectives on like, how what people feel like,
Like I said, I think it's very important. I always tell people, like, doing a 9 to 5 is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I did it for years. If that's what you want to do, it's fine. But I always tell people, if you're doing a 9 to 5, that's not gonna allow you to live a crazy lifestyle, right? Like you're not gonna be wealthy from doing 9 to 5, but there's nothing wrong with it. I tell people, my friends all the time, if you do 9 to 5, make sure you invest some of that money. Whatever that money you make from that 9 to 5, put it into 401k, put it into the stock market. Talk with someone that have experience in the stock market and invest some money, because like putting that money in a regular saving account, it's not gonna grow. So you want to find someone that have knowledge in either real estate or stock market like yourself. So that you want to speak, you want to invest, because the goal is to multiply that money. Because if that money's not multiplying, it's not growing. So like just having it sit in a regular savings account, it's not gonna grow that much. So I think it's important to have, as an entrepreneur, if you're serious about being an entrepreneur, to have your hand in multiple different markets, because like I said, the goal is to have multiple income. Like you can't, especially right now, we cannot depend on one stream of income. Like
Oh, yeah, sure.
it's impossible.
That
So
is
I think,
sure.
like I said, having investment and having your hand in different things and different businesses, I think is very important. But like I said, do not branch off in a bunch of different business if you do not have a handle on one. I think you have to also master something before you tap into another market as well. Because if you can master this right here, why do you go over here and open a car wash and you'll master it if you don't have this skill down pat? So I always tell people, like, don't rush the process. Study whatever you're doing. If you're into real estate, study everything about real estate. You want to be the best in that, go. If you're into fitness, study everything in fitness. Whatever you're doing, you want to be the go-to person in that field. And that's why I said I'm into fitness. I study all the time. I go to seminars. I'm always learning, because I want to be the number one guy in fitness. I want to be the person that everybody come to and come and see. I want to be a specialist. Whatever you do, you want to be the specialist, because the specialists that make the money. Because
Mhm.
I mean, they have people, they have, like I said, they have doctors and they have specialists. Like you have a serious problem, they're going to send you to see a specialist, because you have that next tier knowledge. So I think it's important to be the specialist in whatever niche you're doing. Very
No,
important.
I definitely was like, even like this morning, because I do a lot of like personal development. So like I was just listening to this morning one of these like videos on YouTube, and it was Jim Rohn speaking. And so, one of the things he was saying was how, how you were mentioning earlier, how, you know, working your job again, no problem with the 9 to 5 life. I've been in the 9 to 5 life since the age of 15, so I am not opposed to it. I've humbled myself where I left the 9 to 5 to strictly focus on full-time entrepreneurship, and I took a beating for it. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't keep my head above water, so I had to run right back to that 9 to 5 to keep my income consistent until I could figure it out. But kind of getting back to the video I was talking about, he was mentioning, he said that, your 9 to 5 will definitely help you make a living. You'll make money, but your self education is what's gonna make you a fortune.
Definitely.
So you literally like can't, especially with like our gen. Like I don't care like what the baby boomers did, like what they're doing with staying with jobs 30, 40 years. Like that's not apply anymore in this day and age. Like we're our gen, millennials, and maybe some of Gen X, they're is not built like that. Gen Z definitely not built like that for sure.
Definitely, man.
But I just think like it's such a necessity to just find somewhere else to park your money. And like you were saying, like you don't need a bunch of businesses. You need to have one business, and then you can build multiple streams of income from that business. And
Definitely.
that's what I didn't know early on when I first heard, the phrase, have multiple streams of income. I always thought it was have literally 7 different businesses, when it's just like, no, have one business and find
And then delegate, and then put your money in different places.
7 different branches from that one business that you created. And that
That's
that
what.
that definitely is like been the thing, especially if we when I'm exploring business and stuff like that, is to definitely focus on just trying to create something and then try to figure out how can I branch off and make money that way.
And and one thing that I want to add to it, like I think a lot of entrepreneurs get into business and they don't realize what they get into the two. What I mean by that, like whatever you do, you have to make sure this business is a need based business. Like what I mean by need based business, like this business has to have demand. Like so you can't just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to open a business and you don't do your research. Like what problem are you serving? Like you got to serve a problem. That's how you make money. Like as a business owner, you have to. There are a lot of problems out there, so you have to serve problems. So if you have a business and the business is not serving major problems, you're not gonna make any money. So you have to make sure you do your due diligence, do your research, and make sure this business that you're thinking about is a need-based business. You're not something, okay, at 2 or 3 months it's gonna be hot, then it's gonna be die die, you know. So you have to be very strategized about doing a business, because like that's how you're gonna be in business long term, you know. So like I see a lot of people open up these random businesses and never really put any thought or idea in it. They have some money and they just dump the money and say, okay, let's open this. And then in a year they shut down because they never do their homework and see what the profit margin, how it's gonna grow, what's the projection. Like it's a lot of things you gotta do. You gotta do your SWOT analysis. Like you have to know the strength and the weakness of every business you're gonna get into. You gotta know your competition. You know, like so like I tell people all the time, like, do not just run to open a business. Do your research. Do your research. Talk to people in that field. You want to be a truck driver? Talk to people that does truck. You want to be into real estate? Talk to someone in real estate. You want to do stocks? Talk to someone. You got to talk to someone that's doing what you want to do to get some insight and also do your own research. I think it's very important. I think a lot of people fail because they don't do their homework.
Right.
Because
So
like I said before, I start fitness. I mean, I did a lot of research.
so what I want to ask is, how do you feel about when people say, industries are oversaturated or there are things that are oversaturated? For me personally, I don't think that there are things that are oversaturated. I just think when people say, and I've started to think this over the years, like realize this over the years, is that I don't believe things are oversaturated. I just think that you just haven't found a creative way to attract people for the need that you're trying to fulfill. Like with the podcasting thing, there are a million people who have a podcast, right? Yet some reason people seem to always think that it's oversaturated. Well, it's just okay, yeah, because everybody wants to talk about relationships. Okay, that's fine. It's a topic that everybody has an opinion about. Everybody has a different opinion. But I don't look at podcasting as oversaturated because there are a million topics that people can talk about. Like anybody can have a podcast nowadays. It's just a matter of the content that you produce. Like, is it different than like it? People won't really care. Like if this podcast talks about relationship, if this podcast talks about relationship, they don't care because the fact is that they just want to listen to the opinion of what the person has to say. Same thing with like gyms and stuff like that. Like there are millions of gyms around. Yeah, what we're gonna say there's an oversaturation of gyms. Like you have a Planet Fitness, you have a Crunch. What? So what? Like there's something for everybody.
And I just want to add to that. Like I think the same way too. I like, of course, there's a lot of fitness trainer, a lot of fitness professional, but at the end of the day, it's like it's not saturated. It's room for everyone to grow.
Exactly.
You have to have to separate yourself from the market, from the bunch. Okay, you what exactly? Like I said earlier, what are you specialized in? Like you have to bring something to the table that will make you stand up from everybody else. So when a lot of people doing a business or doing something and they say saturated because they can't separate themselves from the bunch. So that's why they think it's saturated. I think I've been in fitness. I know a lot of trainers. There's a lot of gym right next to my gym. But I don't look at no one as competition because I'm in my lane and I'm doing what I do and they're doing what they do. We all have our own lane. So you can focus on someone else's lane and not try to be the specialist in your own lane. So that's why people think it's special. That's why a lot of people think it's saturated because they're not growing. They're stuck in the same spot. They're not continuing education. They're not learning those new skills. Like I said, into fitness is so much you can learn. So like you just gotta continue learning. You have to want to be the best in your field. So like if you're the best in your field, you never think it's saturated. Because like I said, you could fix a problem. It's a lot of people in this world. So like there's always gonna be someone I want to work out, someone want to get in shape.
I don't ever believe that it'll ever, be more podcasters than there are listeners. The same way like
Exactly.
doing like Amazon FBM and like Walmart selling and like any of that stuff like that. Like there's never ever going to be more buyers. Sorry, there's never going to be more sellers than buyers.
Exactly.
Like there's always going to be a demand. Like people are always consuming. Like there's people always going to be consuming something.
And like I said, I think also it's confident as well. Like I think you have to have a lot of confidence to be in a certain field. Like if you don't have that confidence in what you do, you're gonna look at everybody as competition because guess what? You don't believe in yourself and you don't think you can stand out. Like I travel a lot for fitness events. I go to Atlanta and there's a lot of trainers, high quality trainers that are working with celebrities, and I fit right in because guess what? I have the same knowledge they have, and I'm learning. They're giving me tea. Okay, you want to work with celebrity? This is what you need to do. These are certain you need to focus on. So I'm constantly learning how to elevate my game because my goal is to constantly growing. So I think when you're in business, you have to elevate your game. You have to get better at what you do. You have to continue to get better every day. So because if you're not doing that, you're gonna be dying, and you're gonna look at it. Okay, damn, I'm not growing. I'm in the same spot I was last year because like, what are you doing different? Like it's just saying, like I don't think fitness is saturated. I think everyone have their own lane, and you just gotta find what's your specialty and just dive into that. I tell people that all the time.
Mhm. Talk to me about, like, how you feel about, like, collaboration. 'Cause I feel like sometimes, it's such a powerful thing when you collab with the right people, but it also is just, like, one of those things where, egos can definitely kinda get in the way, like, I had a podcast host, and we're still good people, still very good people, but and I realized, like, doing a solo podcast is, a lot different than if you have like a co-host, if you have somebody who can kind of just go back and forth with and kind of, have conversation with. But kind of just talk about like the power of like collaborations.
I mean, collab is funny, yeah, right? Because like I collab all the time. Honestly, last month I just collab at an event, Prime Mighty Weekend. It was a great event. It was first time me collabing with me and Earl. He also a gym owner. I mean, he own Almighty Fitness. Make sure you guys check him out. He's in Randolph. I collabed and it was a great event. Like I thought of the idea, I pitched it to him, and he was on board. And the reason why I pitched him because I see his work. Like I said, I see his work he do every day. I see how he's passionate about what you do. And I think if you go with someone, you gotta make sure that person have a similar vision or also have a similar mindset. You guys not might be identical, but you have to make sure, okay, you guys align and like whatever you pitch it to him, he's on board with it. Like collab could be good and bad. You have to do, like I said again, it comes down to research. You can't collab with everybody because some people might be good for your business, some might be bad. You know what I'm saying? And also, he can collab. Some people collab because they look for opportunity. Like I might be booming, right? And this younger trade might be on the upcoming, and he see I'm hot in the market, so he want to collab with me because he wants some exposure. So at the same time, you have to make sure people not taking you for advantage and using you. So these are all things you have to think about when you're collabing with people. Like, yo, is this person genuine? Are we doing this for the sole purpose of helping people or betting on whatever the situation is, or are you just trying to have a come up? So collab is great. I think a collab you grow because everyone have an audience, right? I collab with you, you have a different audience, I have a different audience. So collab, we could reach more people. That's why I think collab is a very powerful thing if it's done the right way. And like I said, both parties on the same page. It's very powerful tools. Like I said, I'm never gonna start collabing with people, but I'm gonna make sure I choose the right people to collab and make sure I do my research. Definitely. And like I said, when you run a business, you gotta choose wisely. You cannot collab every year because something might will be really bad for your business. You don't want that.
Right, right. One last thing I wanted to ask. So I know we were again kind of going back to, the idea of entrepreneurship. Your son, Aiden, right? How
Yes.
has he been like how important is it for you to kind of show him and him for him to see like what you're doing? Like what is dad doing? Like how like, yes, you can go out, get your job, you can think about college, but like make sure you are
Yeah,
showing.
I mean, and that's funny. I was having this conversation with my son last week. I was like, "Hey, what do you want to do? Like when you grow up?" He's like, maybe I want to be an architect, Dad. He's like, maybe I want to be a police officer. But and
Mm,
I said to him, I was like, those are great careers and those are great fields. But like I said, I just want you to know it's multiple ways to make money. Like, don't feel like, okay, you have to go to college. You have to do. You just gotta figure out what you want to do and what you're good at and what you enjoy doing. I said to him, I was like, whatever you enjoy doing and you could do it for free, that's your niche. Because like you said, if you wake up, you enjoy walking dog. Okay, that's your thing. You're a dog walker. So like, you have to make sure whatever that profession you chose, you enjoy doing it. If you're getting paid and not getting paid, and that would become your specialist. And I told him like, hey, I said, Anthony, if you want to be an entrepreneur, that's the hours around. So sometimes I have him in the gym with me, helping me, like moving the equipment and stuff around and stuff like that. And I plan him, like I said, he's going to be turning 12 this year, so he's growing. So I'm going to get him more involved in the business so he can see the business side of the thing. So 'cause my goal, like I said, father is just show him like, hey, it's multiple ways to make income. It all depends like what you want to do. Like you could be an entrepreneur or you could be employed. Like, it doesn't matter. Like what the key thing is like once you enjoy what you're doing. Say again?
I was saying, yeah, you can play both sides. Like, it's no problem playing both sides. Like,
Exactly. But like I said, you just gotta enjoy it. And that's what I tell him all the time. You work long hours. I was like, yeah. I mean, I told her like running a business, I work more. But to me, it doesn't feel like work because I enjoy what I do. And like every day I wake up, I want to be at work. I never said, damn, I want to go work today. Like I never had one of those moments, and I've been training for 15 plus years, you know. Cause I said I enjoy what I do, so it doesn't seem like a job to me. That's why it's important. I'm gonna press this again, and I keep saying it. Whatever you get into, guys, in life, make sure you enjoy what you're doing, and you're not doing it for the money because you're not gonna last. You cannot get in business. And say, okay, I'm chasing the bag. You're passionate about it, and then the bag gonna come because you're so passionate about it.
and there we go. Listen, I was about to ask for my, one last gem, but it looked like you don't. Honestly, I appreciate you for, definitely doing this interview, definitely coming on tonight. Can you just kind of plug like all like your socials, all your
Yeah,
information?
definitely, man. Like I
Fine.
said, guys, I mean, thank you for having me on, Akil. Like I said, that's my boy, man. We in the gym, we training hard. Like I said, you guys want to work out, martial arts, want to learn some fighting, come see me. We located at 28 Draper Lane, Canton, Mass. You can follow us on Instagram, Body Prime Fitness, so Facebook, Body Prime Fitness as well. Yeah, man. I said, I appreciate for the opportunity to get on this podcast. I love what you're doing, man. Just keep up doing what you're doing. Your future is bright. Like I said, just focus and just keep grinding, man. Like I said, it's always gonna be distraction in any business you do. You know, it's always gonna be challenges. You know, like I said today, we running some challenges before we even started our podcast. You know, but we figure it out. So that's the thing. Like when you're running challenges, don't get frustrated. Just try to figure out and keep pushing, man. I love
Sure.
what you're doing. Keep up the good work, brother.
Well, I will. I'm gonna speak to you offline, but let me wrap this up real quick. So, yes, guys, it's been another episode of the Millennial Gems podcast. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you do follow the Instagram page, Millennial Gems Podcast. You can also follow my page, official Akila, on Instagram and Facebook and Threads as well. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.